Hi Pisces, it's Denise with Divine Soul Astrology. Today I'm here to discuss the horoscopes for the month of May. The very beautiful month of May, at least here in the Western Hemisphere. Yes, it is. We are coming into summer pretty soon. And Pisces, yesterday I have uploaded Uranus entering Gemini, and that will be in your fourth house of emotional foundation and home and family. There's a big change for you over the next 7 years. Uh, yeah, definitely could be, but no, not could be, will be. And you can check that out. There's going to be change for everybody, right? And yesterday was the full moon in Scorpio, and Scorpio is another water sign. For you, that is in your ninth house of evolution, growth and expansion, and higher purpose. So that's a transformative full moon. A lot of great change happening, evolution and growth, right? And that's really what the astrology wants for us. But it kind of comes in ebbs and flows for all of us, depending on your own natal chart. But let's get right into this. And the sun is in your fourth, is in your house of thinking. Yeah, so the sun is in Gemini. The sun actually is in Taurus. I beg your pardon. And that is your third house of thinking, although it's in Taurus. Yeah. And so forgive me, this is my 12th video, right? But the sun is in your house of thinking, communication, ideas, plans, and goals, and learning. And this is the house of the mind. Uh, this is also the house of siblings for you, an extended family, and whatever is familiar to you. And also, short trips, short distance trips. All right. It's in Taurus until the 20th, until it moves into Gemini. And Taurus is about our finances. It's about our financial comfort yeah, it is. And also our self-worth. So, very interesting there. So, there's something going on definitely that the sun is trying to show us or is emphasizing for us with regard to your third house of thinking, communication, all the things I've talked about, and also themes of Taurus, right? And so, and then when the sun enters Gemini, the sun in Gemini uh, can really have you thinking about your finances. It's kind of a switch there. Very interesting here when the sun enters Gemini. So when the sun enters Gemini, it will be about home and family. It sure will be as well. But it is still Gemini is the sign of thinking. So it's going to be kind of a switch there for you. But you might be thinking a lot about home and family, or home and family can be very important, or about your emotional foundation, or your emotional well-being. And when the sun enters Gemini, that's going to be on the 20th. And um, we also have, for you, we have Mercury. Okay, so Mercury is entering Taurus today, right? Yeah. And Mercury is our thinking. So the sun is in Taurus for you in your third house, which is highly interesting, right? So if the Mercury is the ruler of the natural third house, you're doing a lot of analysis this month. You are, at least until Mercury will enter Gemini, and Mercury is entering Gemini on the 17th. So there's a lot of thinking this month about, there's just a lot of analysis, whatever you may be thinking of. It could be your money, your home and family, your goals and plans as well, because the sun right now in Taurus is your third house of plans and goals, your plans of, the third house of thinking. But this has to do with your willpower, yeah, what you want for yourself, your goals, as I was saying. Yeah, and what your decisions, it can have to also do with anything that is the cerebral. All right. So Mercury is making a trine, not a trine, but a conjunction to Chiron. Chiron is in Aries, Pisces. That's your second house of well-being. And Mercury is telling you what you can let go of that has to do with your well-being or your self-worth or your kind of foundation, maybe how you feel about yourself. But uh, Mercury is showing you something there. Yeah, and that's very good here. It's showing you, you can let go of something now or you can overcome something. Maybe you understand what that's about, right? Chiron is about healing, but it is about usually healing through the reflection or understanding something kind of intuitively. It can be that. And, Chiron's in your second house of well-being. So the fact that Mercury is there, kind of giving you the answer and, the solution, the kind of, yeah, because Mercury rules the mind, right? And so something can really kind of be overcome for you, and that's really a great thing. We have Mercury entering Taurus, and that's going to be today as well. Yeah. And so, forgive me, this is my 12th video, but Mercury will enter Taurus today, as I've been saying, and that is also your third house. So, yeah, it's your third house of thinking. When Mercury's in the third house of thinking, you're really smart about stuff and you're really analyzing. You definitely are, all right? Maybe you're making decisions as well. You might have new plans and goals. You could, because the sun's going to move into Gemini for you too. And that can be also about your focusing on your goals. It can be. Now, the sun, yeah, we talked about that, but the sun, yeah, we did. And so, yeah, and the sun is also ruling in Taurus. The sun right now is in Taurus until the 20th, until it moves into, but the sun is ruling your eighth house of transformation. So right now, as the sun is, and that's Libra, right? But right now, as the sun is in, is in Taurus, and so that means that, that is the ruler of your sun is Venus. The ruler of the sun right now is Venus. Venus rules this house and it also rules your eighth house of transformation. So there's a lot going on that has to do with change for you. Big time. Right now, big time transformation. The eighth house is also where we see things like that we couldn't see before. And it also rules your house of shared assets like inheritances and it can be taxes, it's a bummer, that part, right? But anything that has to do with other people and our own finances, yeah. It is where we can see deep, dark secrets, or, as I was saying before, so you're able to see things about yourself that are really important. It rules your hidden house as well, things that have been hidden from us. Now, and that has to do with that Scorpio full moon that happened yesterday, right? Venus is in your house of emotional foundation. It's in Gemini, that's your fourth house, emotional foundation. And we talked about that a little bit, right? Venus is now in Gemini in your fourth house. And Venus makes a trine to Pluto in your 12th house of endings. Is that cool, right? So that trine is very supportive to your emotional needs, maybe your home and family, but the fourth house is an angular house where Venus sits in your chart, right? I can't see your own chart, Pisces, so I'm speaking from, this is a mundane astrology. If you'd like me to look at your own chart and give you a reading, I could sure do that, right? But for now, we have Venus in your fourth house, in Gemini. And, it's making a trine to Pluto. Pluto is death and rebirth, it's transformation. So we see there's a lot here. It's also related to, it can be crises, but it can be your power. But with the trine, with the benefic of Venus, this is really supporting transformation. It can be, it's in your house of endings and release. And there may be a new chapter regarding finance for you or your well-being, right? It's always good to hear that. And Venus also represents love and relationships, your self-worth. And so Venus and Gemini can have you thinking about that in a whole new way, right? And so Venus also, we have a trine to your natal planet Jupiter. So the trine is from Jupiter to Vesta. So Vesta is what we want to devote ourselves to quietly. Quietly, right? We don't announce it to the world. It's also about what we are dedicated to and harmony and balance as well. Yeah, so we have Jupiter making that trine. Jupiter is in Cancer, another water sign. Cancer is your fifth house of self-expression. That's a really beautiful thing. Yeah, it is. And your house of how you see the sense of self. It's also your house of creative self-pursuits, love and sex, and having fun and all kind of beautiful things there, and how you shine. So this is very beautiful here. This is also helping you grow. It definitely is. Vesta is, I believe, where is Vesta? I'm not looking at the chart right now, but I have in my note here, how this is really supporting you. It is. And we also have, Jupiter's in Cancer. It's another water sign. It's exalted in Cancer. So it's supporting you there, right? In your fifth house of self-expression. You're being more authentic. It's supporting you being more authentic, showing how you shine, Pisces. Yeah. And Cancer is a very nurturing sign. Remember that. Yeah, it is. Cancer wants to nurture. Yeah. Yeah, I remember my son saying, telling he's a Cancer, right? He's a great dad because they're all about family. But I remember him telling his friend to come from New Jersey to visit him. He goes, "Yeah, we can bond." It was it wasn't a new friend, but somebody he kind of knew for years, but not really, not super well or not very deep, kind of. And, I thought that was so cute. He goes, "Yeah, we can bond and, we can nurture one another," something like that. And I thought, God, how Cancerian is that, right? We can bond. I think that's what he said. But yeah, Cancer is a very nurturing energy. And remember, this is in your house of self. That is so beautiful. And Jupiter rules your sign and your 10th house of career and social roles and your reputation. It's ruling this house of how you take control of your own life, how you show yourself to the world, the authority that you wield over your life. It's really great for you, Pisces. And Mercury is going to move into its own Gemini on the 17th, and that will be into your house of home and family. Your horoscope for May looks so, so good. We also have Uranus. Uranus is in Gemini right now. That is your fourth house of home and family. And so Uranus is innovation. It's making a sextile to your own Neptune. This is your modern day ruler. And really, what it's showing you that, believe in change, go with it, believe in your visions and believe in your dreams. Don't fall into, Neptune is in Aries in your second house of well-being and self-worth. Don't fall into kind of doubts because Neptune can blur the lines. Neptune really wants us to believe in our dreams and stuff, but sometimes it falls into these illusions, right? Because they're kind of related to dreams, right? We can see the kind of the similarity there, right? But don't fall into that. Trust yourself, trust your own creativity and your visions because the astrology is supporting your creativity and your self-expression. It sure is. It's so beautiful. I feel like it is, right? And I know a Piscean, and I'm kind of so rooting for this person. Yeah. And Mercury is also making a sextile. Mercury is your ideas and your thinking. Um, yeah, and that's very beautiful. There's a new moon in Taurus. Taurus is your third house of the mind, your third house of thinking. You're going to have new goals, transition. You could be thinking about, new goals or planting new seeds when we have the new moon. I'll do a separate video on that. When is the new moon? It is on the 16th of the month. And we're going to be having, here you are, here, is this you? No, but we have a full moon in Sagittarius. Don't mind me. It's the last part of, my video recording today. But Sagittarius is the full moon at the end of the month. That's going to be so interesting. And the sun moves into Gemini. When is the sun moving into Gemini? I don't know if I mentioned that. On the 20th, the sun will move into your fourth house of emotional foundation, shining on that. Yeah, it's a great time for you, Pisces. But the full moon at the end of the month on the 31st, I'll do a separate video on that. That full moon will support you because, why do I say that? Because it is ruled by Jupiter and that you're sharing that ruler, Jupiter, you and Sagittarius. So the full moon at the that so Jupiter is your ruler of your sign, your first house. So there's going to be some type of major like transformation for you, some kind of a shift with the full moon in Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is what? It is your 10th house. It's the ninth house, and for you, it's your 10th house of career or how you show yourself to the world. There is so much going on for you with your self-expression. Sagittarius is about growth and expansion, so it's just looking so cool. I'm just happy for you guys, you Pisceans, all right? I feel like it's kind of been tough for Pisceans, maybe last year possibly, but Things are looking so good for you guys, right? Thanks so much for joining me here, Pisces. If you want a reading check out the description box. I have my website there. And I'm always looking at the chart from a place of healing. And you guys are about healing. Yeah, Pisceans make great healers. They're very compassionate, they're very intuitive, and they do understand the mind-body connection. Yeah, so I'm getting off a little bit, kind of, moving into a new subject here a little bit, but yeah, I'm approaching the chart from a very place of empowerment, and also it shows our inherited trauma and our talents, and the chart is trying to show you how to be your best self and how to move out of everything that's kind of been thrown at us. Yeah, it's so fascinating. Thanks so much for joining me here. If you want to check out my website, everything's below in the description box. Please like, share, and subscribe. It's helping me to get to the next level. And hit the little bell so you can be reminded of my next upload. And you guys rock, Pisces. Thanks so much for joining me here.